Assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Mubarak. Hello and welcome to the Health Show Ramadan special here on the Islam channel. Now, in this special series, we've been discussing important topics that affect our lifestyles, especially during Ramadan. Last time, we discussed healthy eating and exercise, which I'm sure was really helpful for you. Well, today's show, we're going to be talking about weight loss, a topic which a lot of people will deal with at some point in their lives. So just what are some of the things you can do to help maintain a healthy weight? Well, with us in the studio is our resident expert. He's Dr. Ibrahim Adwan, a consultant in alternative medicine, who will guide us through ways to help with weight loss. And you'll also have a chance to actually call in live or email with any questions you have for Dr. Adwan. Now, the number to call will be 0207 374 6423. And you can also email us at healthshow@islamchannel.tv. Now, lines will be open on later on in the show, so please don't call just yet. Now, we must stress that should you suffer from any medical problems whatsoever, it is always highly recommended that you contact your doctor first, or indeed a medical expert. So on with tonight's show. Is being overweight something that people take for granted? Are there things that we can do to motivate ourselves to maintain a healthy weight, especially during the season of Ramadan? We're going to discuss ways people can maintain a good weight even during fasting. So Dr. Adwan is back. And first of all, Dr. Adwan, for people who haven't actually maybe tuned in last week to our show, perhaps you can just give us a very brief background to yourself, because you started off as a medical doctor and then you went into the alternative side.
Yeah, that's all. I trained and worked as a medical doctor, actually, and then I wasn't convinced with what I'm doing. They would change my career completely to alternative medicine about 15, 20 years back. So I'm practicing the alternative medicine, advising people about healthy food, healthy lifestyle, and guide them from there.
So basically, although you do have the qualifications as a medical doctor, what we're really talking about is approaching it from an alternative perspective.
That's right.
So, looking at weight, as we said in the introduction, we do take it a little bit for granted, but why is it a potential problem for us? Why, for example, being overweight, why is that a problem for us?
Weight is really a health risk. Even some scientists say that it's risk as the smoking, to that danger. Weight problem, obesity, on the other side, can cause heart disease, can cause diabetes, can cause many different other chronic diseases if we don't take the procedure to lose weight. So,
well, we're going to talk a lot about things that people can do, what's preventing them maybe. We'll be talking about that in a little while. And if you are looking for advice on weight loss and maybe you feel that you need a little bit more help and you've tried everything already, well, we've got some ideas for you. And just how many of us, though, are really listening to the advice that we actually get? And for that matter, who should we actually turn to for that advice? Other than your doctor, of course. A nutritionist is often, more often than not, one of the best people to actually start with when it comes to weight loss. So we went to find out a bit more from a London-based nutritionist. So let's hear what advice they had.
Nutritionist for about 7 years, but I did recently I did a degree in dietetics as well, so I've been qualified dietitian for about 4 years. In terms of weight loss, one of the main concerns that my clients have is knowing what to eat. They feel that they ought to know what to eat. They're bombarded with information from everywhere, and some of it is totally contradictory. So it's quite difficult to kind of figure out what is real and what is not, and I think that's really where a dietitian comes in. You separate the wheat from the chaff and you're able to look at the science and see whether something really does add up or not. I think one of the best bits of advice I can give when you're thinking about weight loss is to get the balance right in the diet. So it's very easy to cut out a food group, and lots of diets tend to do that. So you might get a low carb diet or a low fat diet, but actually the best thing to do is to get a balance of all of the nutrients. I always like to recommend, if you think of your plate, divide it into 3 and fill half of your plate with fruit or veg or a mixture, a quarter with protein, so things like beans, pulses, meat, fish, dairy products, those kind of things, and a quarter with carbohydrates, so potatoes, rice, breads, those kind of things. If you do that, then you're very likely to get the balance right, and it will be so much easier to follow. Ramadan can sometimes be looked at as quite a good time for losing weight because a lot of the time you're fasting. However, the danger comes when it's time to eat again, when you break the fast, and it's very tempting when you've been fasting all day to overeat. So making sure you can use it as a really good sort of kickstart to weight loss, but making sure that the breaking of the fast is not a complete feast every single day. So keeping it a nice balanced meal, portion size is not too big as well. In a consultation, what I would usually do is talk to the clients about their diet, their current diet and their lifestyle, what they can do within the parameters of their life. So is it easy for them to cook meals? Is it easier for them to go to a shop and buy their lunch? Those kind of things. And what we do is we look at their goals, see where we can make changes to their current diet to help them reach it without it being completely ridiculous and difficult for them to do. And then we come up with a plan between us about what would work and what is feasible, and the client goes away and has a go at it, and then we'd have a follow-up session seeing what went well, what they need a bit more support with, and we take it from there. Exercise is an important part of a healthy lifestyle, but actually in terms of weight loss, it's nowhere near as important as the food that you eat. So if you go to the gym 5 times a week but you eat badly, you're still probably not going to lose weight. So although the two complement each other very well, it's mainly about food when you're talking about weight loss.
So again, some very useful weight loss advice there, and it sounds so simple, doesn't it, and straightforward. But let's be honest, how many of us actually heed that advice that we hear? Even if it's just a simple adjustment in the amount of rice or daily intake that we have of other foods, how much of an impact does that have on our bodies? And when we do find it difficult to say no, what do we do about it? And, you know, first of all, Dr. Adwan, we talked about the dangers of having too much weight, but we hear this term as well, obesity. At what point do we become obese versus just overweight? And obviously the dangers become greater then.
People confuse between body mass index, which is the dividing of the weight in kilos over the height in square meters, and the normal one, standard one, between 19 to 24. So between 24 to 30 is overweight.
And again, we saw that on the chart that they had in the video there, yeah.
And after 30, they start to feel the obese. This is obese. But this is rough definition, but the most exact definition is increasing of the body fat for ladies, for women, more than 30% of the body, or for the men is more than 25% of fat regarding the body weight.
So is that the definition
of obesity?
Of obesity.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's actually come back to actual weight itself, and maybe talking about Ramadan, because obviously, as we heard there, you know, Ramadan, in a sense, is a great opportunity to lose weight.
You're right. Very golden chance in Ramadan. If you don't lose weight in Ramadan, it's difficult to lose it any another time. Why? Because you are fasting about 19 hours. It means your body secretes toxins and waste in the blood. So we need something to wash it. You need that water, more important than anything. So my advice, when you start breaking your fast, just 1 day, no more than 1 day. And you need more water, 1 or 2 glasses of water, and to wash these toxins in the blood. Okay. And then soup, if you can, salads also.
Well, let's come to the types of foods and things we can eat a little bit later on, because we're going to start off with here the definition of a healthy weight, and we heard it being related to BMI. We've got some information there on the screen which gives us an idea of what we're talking about. And you're saying again that we want to keep our BMI at a rough level
between
to be
19
healthy.
to 24.
Right.
Some people between 20 to 25, but roughly in this way, dividing of the weight in kilos over the height in square meters. So the standard.
So that's how you work it out.
That is, yeah. This is body mass index, BMI. So the standard one is between 19 to 24. This is normal. Less than that, underweight. More than that, overweight. So 24 to 30 is overweight. More than 30 is start to be obese. After that, after 40 is clinically obese, need urgent interference, medical.
And that's when you can really have some serious health problems.
Yes. High blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, any kind of health problems, yeah.
So basically, try and keep it within that limit if you can.
Yes.
So that's the definition of weight loss. Let's go on to some of the causes, because it's not, obviously, you know, we know it's if we eat too much, that's what's going to cause some weight gain. But what are some of the other things that can affect our ability to lose weight, or the fact that we gain it?
If you remember, we talked about the healthy food in last Sunday. Not the matter of how much you eat, the matter what you eat. This is more important than how much you eat. Sugar, refined carbohydrates, this is the most dangerous regarding not the weight, but the diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, and other things. So instead of eating white bread, multi-seed bread, of whole bread, instead of eating the refined things, the whole meal grains, the whole meal thing, we need, instead of juicing the commercial juice, you can eat the fresh fruit, because we need the fiber. Fiber is balancing the sugar and cholesterol in the blood. So it's much better if you eat a fresh fruit, if you eat the salad, especially in Ramadan now, we need the salad.
Well, I was going to say, during Ramadan, does that actually, when we are physically eating during Ramadan, you know, does that actually affect our weight loss? Because obviously you have the fasting period, which is very good for us. But if we come out of our fast, when we break our fast and we eat the wrong things, that can make a big difference.
Not the wrong things. The thing is, the people rush to not to chew. They start to swallow, unfortunately, because they are hungry. So my advice is try to chew as much as you can, because if you chew, you'll never eat. You overeat. Yeah. When you chew, you give signal to the stomach to secrete the enzymes and other body, liver and pancreas to be ready. So you chew. So I'm sure you eat half the amount if you don't chew. So try to chew as much as you can. Eat slowly. One date, 1 glass or 2 glasses of water, soup, salad.
And ease your way into it. Slowly. Now, we've also got up here as well exercise. Now, exercise, as we touched on last week, is particularly difficult during Ramadan because, you know, normally when you exercise, you're going to eat more, and obviously you can't. So what sort of exercise would you say is good that's going to aid with weight loss but not going to interfere with your fasting too much?
From my experience with the people who are fasting, the best exercise they can tolerate is walking. And especially the 1 or 2 hours before the breakfast. Yeah. So this is the good thing. It's easy, it's not tired, and just normal walking. That's the best thing you can do.
Just to get the heart going a little bit.
Yeah, little bit. Because heart is the muscle. We need pumping the blood, and we need you to be energetic. And try when you eat, because even when you eat, if you already walk or do some sort of exercise, you're burning, still burning after you eat, still burning the fat. Yeah.
Now, the other thing I presume is about the heat, because obviously if you're in the heat during the day, it could be a little bit difficult. So again, try and maybe stay in the cool as much as possible so you're not getting too hot, which would obviously make you thirsty.
Well, that's why when I said the best time to walk is 1 or 2 hours before, it's like 7-ish, like the 7:30, 8 o'clock. 1 or 2 hours before the breakfast, and usually the weather is very good at that time, so it's best to walk at that time rather than to walk in the morning or
Okay, so we've got a few more things here about causes. We've talked about lack of exercise there. What about this toxicity? Is that coming from, again, some of the foods that we're eating that maybe aren't the best foods?
Toxicity coming from outside and from inside. From outside, where we with our food, with our water, with the pollution in the around, the cars and those things in streets. This is from outside. From inside, where the eating the wrong food. We would call it food intolerance, food allergy. We eat too much because, as I said, eat too much, you're not giving the body a chance to secrete the digestive enzyme. So you're not digesting. You're not digesting, you're not absorbing. You're not absorbing, you're not eliminating the waste. And this is where the toxicity comes, from inside and from outside.
Okay, so let's move on to this. I'm particularly interested in the, I can hardly even pronounce it, the dysbiosis.
Dysbiosis, this is what's called these good and bad bacteria in the large and small intestine. This is good bacteria. We know that's about 70 to 80% of our immune system in the gut, in the area called Peyer's patches in the gut. Here the bacteria help strengthen our immune system. So, and it'll help digestion, help absorption, help manufacturing vitamin K to liquefy the blood, prevent the clotting of the blood, manufacture vitamin B, give us energy from food. Also, it's good for mood. Because if we know this, for surprise for some people, 90% of our serotonin hormone, which is deficiency causing the depression, manufactured in the gut. So we need this. We need this probiotic.
So hence where it says there about the psychological influences. That's a big. So it is mind over matter then.
Psychological means when somebody are depressed or deficient in the hormone in charge of the mood, serotonin. And they start to crave. This is they tell the body to crave. They start to crave the refined carbohydrate, sugar, and chocolate. And this is causing health problem. So when the people are depressed, they start to crave, or deficiency even of this hormone, serotonin, which is manufactured 90% of it in the gut.
And I suppose a lot of it is a challenge of habit, isn't it? If you are in a habit of eating certain foods and doing certain things, it's breaking that habit, which is a bit of a challenge.
100% right, because I saw different Muslims from different countries when he or she have their habit, what they eat, how they eat. We have to break. With his Ramadan, we have to have the wish, but we have to have the will. If you want to lose Ramadan, you have the golden chance in Ramadan, but how to use it? Chew. Don't eat too much. If you're hungry, you can eat between breakfast and suhoor. There's a long time between them, so you can eat during that time.
Now, we often hear people say, when they say about being overweight, they say, oh, it's in my genes. My family were all overweight. That's why I'm overweight. It's genetic.
I'll answer them just one sentence. Genetics load the gun. Lifestyle, which is food, exercise, stress, pull the trigger. So to pull the trigger is up to you. Yeah. Even this is what Quran say. Quran say, "Alladhi yut'imuni," Allah, God, feed me, give me drink, cure me. When it comes to either become sick, me, you, because the food we eat, you eat too much. And that's why advise us, don't eat too much. And our Prophet said, if you have to eat, third of your stomach, food. Third of your stomach, water. Third of your stomach, breathing.
Very good advice. I like that. Now, let's talk about some of the treatments and some of the things we can do. Now, I know next week we're going to be talking far more about different types of diets and so on. But let's actually have a look at at a healthy diet. Just general tips about good eating that, again, we talked about this habit. What are the sort of small changes we can make in our habits that will lead to healthier eating?
Good question. And I know it is difficult, but if you are overweight, you or she, whatever, if you try, it's difficult in the beginning not to mix the families. We have protein family with our animal protein, as red meat, chicken, fish, eggs, cheese. And we have the plant proteins like lentil, chickpeas, beans. And we have the salads. And we have the starchy food, rice, potato, bread, and pasta, and so on. So if you can, you want to lose weight quick and in a healthy way, don't mix the families. Like what? If you eat meat, salad. Chicken, salad. Fish, salad. Never eat the rice with them, because the food in the stomach, the only protein which is the only food which is digested is the protein, especially the animal protein.
Okay, so that's a really good tip. But what can you have with rice that's okay?
Sorry?
What can you eat with rice? If you can't eat animal protein with rice,
If you like, if you want to eat rice, you can eat rice with lentil, rice with bean, rice with soya, beans with soya.
so with vegetable.
Yeah, we can mix it them. We can mix it
Right,
them because this
okay.
is we saw last week we talked about the full protein.
Yeah.
Full protein, especially the animal one. But to make the full protein in the plant one, you have to mix like peas and beans, rice and lentils to mix them to get the good protein.
We're going to be taking calls very shortly. But before we do that, you've talked about some good tips there. You talked about not combining the food groups. That's the first tip. Any other tips or any other way that you would sort of basically say to people, right, it's Ramadan, these are my golden rules to be able to help you maintain health, but also maybe even lose a little bit and make the most of the fast?
Sweets. The sweets, unfortunately, all the Muslim, they increase the sweets in Ramadan, which is wrong, including the dates. As I said, break your fast with one date because you want to break your fast. We need water to wash those toxins secreting during the fasting day, 19 or 20 hours. We need water to wash those. So breaking your fast on one date, 1 or 2 glasses
So be
of water.
patient.
You have to because if you want to lose the fasting, the Ramadan, to lose weight, to be healthy generally, but you have to follow. Otherwise, if you just filling, because there was the meaning of Ramadan, fast to be healthy. To be healthy, fast.
So to conclude, we're basically saying moderate exercise, ease your way into breaking the fast, and try maybe looking
Away
at
from
these
the
food
sweets.
groups and away from sweets.
If you have to, just little bit after that, but don't consume a lot of things, because what you need water more than anything else. Fresh fruit is very good. What's better than watermelon in this time in Ramadan?
Yeah.
Yeah. So away as much as you can from sweet and refined carbohydrates. Go to the protein side. It doesn't matter to be the animal protein. You can lentils, peas, beans, chickpeas, whatever, but with salad. The most important, we need salads. We need the antioxidant. We need the minerals, magnesium for the heart. We need the fiber. Fresh fruit is good. Banana is very good. Potassium is good for the heart.
And what about when we are about to go back into our fast in the morning? What are the last foods that you think are maybe good to have
good
at the end of
question
the
here.
fast?
This is what we call suhoor. This is the meal in the early morning. Here we need protein, but not heavy protein. So no way you can eat meat in the morning. So it's better to eat plant protein in this way. Chickpeas is very good. Broad beans is very good. We do it in a special way. It's very good. Porridge oat is excellent. Porridge oat, if you put some nuts, raw nuts, any nuts you
And
like.
that's quite slow release as well, isn't it?
It's very good, slow
Well,
release.
we're going to talk more about that after our break, and I know that a lot of these topics are actually going to come up. And you might be wondering why you're finding it difficult to manage your weight. Well, we are going to be talking more about that after the break, and also we'll be taking your calls as well. So please do get ready to actually give us a call and let us know any of your thoughts. And again, Dr. Adwan will do his best to answer any of your questions that you might actually have. But as I say, we're going to take a break very, very shortly. And straight after that, we'll be able to take your calls. So thanks for watching. Don't go away. Welcome back to the Health Show Ramadan special. Now, today we're looking at alternative methods that can help with weight loss. And of course, we're bearing Ramadan in mind. Now, you'll be pleased to hear the lines are now open. So if you'd like to ask Dr. Adwan a question regarding weight loss, then do call us on 0207 374 6423. And you can also email us your questions at healthshow@islamchannel.tv. Pick up the phone. We'd love to hear from you. Now, the first thing, before we take our first caller, I just want to ask about thyroids. We hear about thyroids a lot. People say, oh, I have a thyroid condition that's affecting my weight. How do we deal with that particular scenario?
Thyroid, hypothyroid, mean the thyroid is lazy. Thyroid is, this is the Adam apple, is around like butterfly, circulating the hair, the Adam apple. It's two parts, secreting hormone called thyroxine. Components of thyroxine, iodine, tyrosine, selenium. Iodine is the mineral, Selenium is a mineral. Tyrosine is amino acids, protein. So where we have to eat those rich food, iodine, like what? Like salty fish, salty water fish, like sea salt. Those sort of food we have to eat, so especially
And of course, if you suspect you've got a thyroid condition, your doctor will be able to tell you very quickly, I presume, will he?
The doctor also, yes, but also there is simple technique you can do it at home before you go to your doctor. Get a thermometer called Barnes technique. First thing in the morning, shake your thermometer, put it under your arm for 10 minutes, lie down, close your eyes. 10 minutes, read the thermometer. If the reading for 3 consecutive days in the same time, 36.5 or less than that, you have suspicion of hypothyroid. We can confirm that by blood test.
Confirm that by the doctor. Well, we're pleased to say that we've actually got quite a lot of callers already calling in. You're proving very popular, so let's go to our first caller this evening. Assalamu alaikum, hello and welcome. You're through to Dr. Adwan. Please go ahead, ask your question.
Walaikum salam. The question is, does cupping help weight loss?
Well, interesting enough, we had a show on cupping in our live surgery episode a few weeks ago. So the question is about cupping. Is there any connection between cupping and weight loss?
Well, I don't specialist in that field, but what I heard, my research is it take out some of the waste in the blood, so it may be beneficial for some people. Yeah, it could be.
Okay, good question. Thank you. And I believe we've got somebody else on the line. Assalamu alaikum. Hello.
Hello, walaikum salam. Dr. Adnan, thank you very much. I'm a heart patient, but I indulge into fasting a few days. But what measures can I take in terms of eating and to be careful about as to that it doesn't have sort of adverse effect on me? And I fasted a few days ago and I had some pain, but I find that I've lost appetite completely when I do open fast. So I understand that I should ease into eating, etc. But what other measures can I take to not to sort of food-wise, not to, which, it doesn't cause...
So basically, you're asking, you don't want anything to antagonise the heart condition you have?
Yes, not to trigger it, and is it okay in terms of, obviously, dehydration-wise? Should I drink water because I get very thirsty and I want to drink a lot of water, then I can't eat, etc. That's just...
Okay, well, I think that the first question, obviously, as we advocate throughout the show, we are talking about, obviously, alternative health advice. So, obviously, the first port of call would always be your doctor. But you've heard the question there. So if somebody does have, and there'll be lots of people who have a variety of heart conditions, are there any sort of do's and don'ts in that area?
First and most important is on sweets. And dates is part of the sweet, and it's very sweet. When the dates is the sugar in the dates double the white sugar, so that's why start breaking your fast with 1 date, 1 glass of water, and then soup. You can soup, chicken soup, whatever soup, vegetable soup, salad, big salad, because we need this antioxidant, especially magnesium, which is good for the heart, and the richest sort of magnesium is the leafy green vegetables. Fish is excellent. We need the fish oil. So fish is excellent, but also he can eat, but he has to be easy on meat, because meat is high in saturated fatty acid, and it's very difficult to digest. And you have to eat slowly as much as he can. To be light as much as not to mix. If he can eat, as I said, fish and some salad.
So again, as you were saying before, the food types.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Because especially with heart, his circulation is not very good. So he has to ease on mixing and not to overindulge and eat. Chew and eat slowly. and have the salads.
As our mothers always taught us, chew your food sensibly. And again, as we said earlier on, if you do have any medical conditions whatsoever, it's always good to go and see a medical expert or your doctor first. We have another call on the line. Assalamu alaikum. Hello. Good evening.
Hello. Wa alaikum assalam. Sorry, I just wanted to ask a little bit about polycystic ovaries, please. I've been gaining weight.
Okay, so with polycystic ovaries, the caller's feeling that's causing her to gain weight.
That's right, because polycystic ovary, it means even they put her on metformin. The metformin, we give it to the people of diabetes type 2. This is to regulate the sugar. So it means there's a relation between polycystic ovary and sugar. Imbalance in sugar. This is one of the main causes of weight. So my advice is to be easy on sweets and sugar and dates in Ramadan. And cinnamon is very good to regulating the sugar. And I advise the diabetic patient to drink cinnamon. Excellent, the cinnamon.
Very good.
There is some minerals she can take if she likes. She can phone me, because I don't want to advise about supplement over the phone. But there is special one which is very, very safe to take. But she has to consult her doctor, called the chromium. This is help, like metformin, balancing the sugar.
So obviously, whenever anybody's looking at adding something specific to their diet, obviously check it with their doctor first.
It is better, so the supplement, especially to be with. But it stays polycystic ovary is the relating with sort of insulin resistance. That's why she has to avoid the eating refined carbohydrates. Eat whole meal, instead of white bread, multi-seed bread, or wholemeal bread.
So it's possible to lose weight, but it's just a little bit tougher.
Go to the protein side. Instead of white rice, go to lentils, peas, chickpeas, fish, meat. Those sort of give energy slowly and come down slowly, rather than to recruiting the blood with sugar and come down. And so there's a relation between polycystic ovary and the sugar imbalance.
Okay, perfect. Very, very good. Now, talking just before we go to our next caller, there's a lot of things we've been talking about today, about different food groups, different food types, and looking at different people's sort of conditions. Is there anything during fasting that you would actually change in your normal diet? We talked about going into the fast and coming out of the fast, but if you have another meal, once you've eased yourself into it, should you be eating any different food during that time?
Wait, during the breakfast? When they break the fast or what?
Yeah, so we've broken the fast of Ramadan, and before we go back into the fast, any meal that we have during that stage...
He can. And that's why not to have heavy meal in the breakfast. They can eat between the breakfast and the suhoor. There's lots of time there. Yogurt with some nuts, yogurt with some fruits. Put fruits in the yogurt is excellent thing. It's good for the colon. You can have some nuts. You can have some you can eat normally.
So basically, eat normally during the middle part of the fast. Yeah. It's just that each end of the fast to spend a little bit more time getting that right.
Rather than to concentrate on one big meal, because this is the stomach is like balloon. If you putting too much food, it starts to be expanded
stretched
more and more and more.
Yeah.
It's causing troubles. Yeah.
Okay, well, we have another caller on the line. Assalamu alaikum. Hello, good evening.
Yes. Hello, good evening. My name is Nahi, and just my question is because I have 4 children, but since that I'm not type of person who goes to the gym and do exercise, but I'm okay with if I get reduced of the fat with the food. But I don't know what food shall I go for it, because I have a very big belly, and my belly, the shape is like egg. It's like a pregnant. People say that thinks that I'm pregnant. I'm very slim, but my belly is very big. I don't know how to get rid of this fat. Can you help me, please?
Okay, so it's the caller feels that most of her weight is just around the stomach area. She doesn't necessarily anywhere else. So is there anything that she can do with just that stomach area?
This is the dangerous one. This is the apple-shaped one. Because this is what really too much weight around the waist is heading for causing after that causing diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, and a lot of other problems if she doesn't care or take precaution what she eats. So first and most important thing, this is sort of insulin resistance. Avoid as much as you can of refined carbohydrates, sweets, especially in Ramadan. Ease on dates. I keep advising this because our people eat a lot of dates, and this is sweet. There's too much sugar in dates. And as I said, if you want to lose weight quickly, to separate the families. Chicken, salad. Fish, salad.
Is there any difference, though, with the fat that we have at this part of our body as opposed to general fat? Do we have to behave differently to be able to deal with this fat?
We have. This is the apple shape. The other one is pear shape. The apple shape or android one is most for women, for men, but it's come for women. Because when you eat, the fat start to absorb in the blood and go to the liver, and later cause fatty liver. It's another complication of the weight around the waist. This is a dangerous one. And this is prediction of future.
So what with that specific area can, like the caller we just had, what can she do with that particular area to help?
Most important, 70-80% food away from sugar. Most important, sugar. She eat anything after, but sugar, sweets, no.
And that's tough if she was saying she had 4 children, so it's a bit tough to sometimes avoid that, but that's what it would take.
But comparing with, if you're weighing the danger of that,
course,
you have to sacrifice.
Okay, so great. Well, we've got another caller on the line. Assalamu alaikum, hello.
Alaikum assalam.
You're through to Dr. Adwan.
Okay.
So go ahead with your question.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. My question is that, please, does it contribute on miscarriage?
I'm sorry, the line broke up there a little bit. We didn't quite catch you. We'll go to the next caller. If you redial, hopefully another line you'll get will be better. So we have another caller. Go ahead, please.
Hello.
Hello, you're through to Dr. Adwan. Please ask your question.
Hello, salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Hi, my mom, she's 75 years old. So she's diabetic, she's had blood pressure, and she has got cholesterol. So she had a little bit weight. Which kind of advice can you give her? Which kind of food she can eat to make her lose weight?
So again, the types of foods. Did you say the person you're talking about was 75? Did I catch that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe this might be some good advice that we have for maybe older people who are having difficulty with losing weight. Are there any of the rules different for older people? Is there anything that maybe older people should be more focused towards?
Here, for older people, have to look a little bit different. For the older people, find difficult to digest, difficult to absorb because they lose a lot of digestive enzymes. So from time to time, we have to encourage them to eat food with digestive enzyme like salads, lots of salads, like pineapple. There is good enzyme in pineapple called bromelain, which help digesting the protein side of food. Papaya from papaya is very, very good. You eat papaya and pineapple before, or she can take those enzymes. She can buy it from chemistry. This is very, very good to digest food. Water. When we age, we don't feel thirsty, but they have to sip all the time because water is very, very important.
We talked about that last time, didn't we? About sipping water, not huge amounts. And again, when we're coming out of fasting, just sipping water.
The old age, they lose, they call atrophic gastritis. This is where the hydrochloric acid being secreted. Hydrochloric acid digests the protein side of food, the red meat, the fish, the things. So from time to time, I don't take like course of hydrochloric acid enzyme. I can show it to your GP. Liaise with them.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, some really good tips there for people who may be who are maybe older, finding it difficult to lose weight. Because also, of course, exercise when you get older. For some, they maybe have conditions that make exercise more challenging.
When we say exercise, I said the best thing and safe thing for such ages if they can walk. That's the best advice they can do. Not to cycle, of course, or do swimming. So walk is the best exercise is suitable to your age, to your job, to your lifestyle. So don't try to make it hard for you. Enjoy it.
And of course, there's lots of things from gardening to just playing in the park and stuff like that occasionally. Yeah.
They can do.
Okay,
Yes.
good. Okay, well, we have another caller. Good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Please go ahead, ask your question.
Okay, so my question is, if someone has gastroesophagus reflux disease, GERD, what's the best type of food for that kind of person in Ramadan?
Okay, I think first of all we need to explain the. Did you understand the condition the lady mentioned?
I didn't hear it. No.
Okay, so could you repeat that? That sounded like a specific condition that you were talking about.
GERD.
Sorry, you have to repeat that one. Sorry.
GERD, gastroesophagus reflux disease.
Reflux disease.
Reflux disease. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what kind of food is suitable for somebody with this in Ramadan?
So somebody who has reflux during Ramadan, what can they do?
Reflux disease mean it comes when we eat, the food goes from mouth. You have to chew because in the mouth saliva contain amylase enzyme, digest the food. That's why it says chew. You digesting the food. You breaking in small parts. You give a chance to the stomach, to the liver, to pancreas, to small intestine to secrete their enzyme, waiting the food. But if you don't chew, if you swallow, galloping the food, where's the enzyme coming? There's no time for the stomach
so
and pancreas.
People with reflux disease, they have difficulty.
To chew and then eat slowly, because what's reflux? Reflux, when we eat slowly, as I said, the stomach is like balloon. When it becomes big, the pressure increase in the stomach, but because there is what we call the sphincter, sort of muscle open in one way, toward this, from the esophagus to the stomach. When we eat, finish, and then this muscle close. But if we eat too much, we eat quickly, we galloping, we swallowing, is the pressure increased in the stomach. Part of the food goes back to the chest, to the intestine, and that's why this is with reflux. With the food, some acid goes back. So my advice is chew as much as you can, eat slowly as much as you can, eat salad, because salad is alkaline, can balance the acid in the stomach.
So for everybody, as you said, chew, but especially if you have reflux, then chew more.
Yeah.
So maybe a food that requires you to chew a huge amount would
too much spice, too much coffee and tea. That causes also the condition.
Okay, we have time for just one more call. I can't believe it. Time's rushing so fast. Assalamu alaikum. Hello. You're through to Dr. Adwan. Hello.
Hello. Assalamu alaikum.
Hello there. Please go ahead. Ask your question.
Alaikum salam. My question is, does overweight... Can you hear me?
We can hear you, yeah. It's not a terribly good line, but we'll do our best.
Okay. Does overweight stop someone from conceiving, or does it contribute to miscarriage?
So, if I'm absolutely right, were you saying, does being overweight contribute to miscarriage?
Yes.
Pregnancy.
Yeah, so if you are, is the chances of miscarriaging greater if you're overweight?
It is related, actually, but after that, she has to look after the food, because some people go through what we call it postpartum depression. So they have to be careful what to eat and choose what to eat, and especially to avoid that period. She needs help psychologically, actually. But as I said, choose the protein side of food rather than the refined carbohydrates. And doesn't matter whether red meat or eggs. Eggs is one of the best food, fish, but also lentil is excellent superfood. Lentil soup is very good. Peas, beans, nuts and seeds are very good. So, and also contain a lot of in addition to minerals and vitamins, and so it's very, very helpful. In addition, of course, never forget the salads.
And of course, as we've been saying throughout the programme, if anybody's in fear of having a miscarriage or any other help, then obviously go and see a medical professional.
The other one, her GP can deal with that. Yeah.
But for nutrition, obviously, if you are pregnant, I guess it stands to reason your nutritional levels are even more important than ever.
Of course, because
to look
she
after
is
your baby.
for her or for the baby.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we've been actually able to squeeze one more caller in. So good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum. Hello.
Wa alaikum salam.
Okay, you're through to Dr. Adwan. Please ask your question.
I'd like to ask, I'm a kidney patient, and I like to ask to the doctor, I'm a kidney failure, I can be a fast, and what diet I should eat? My kidney function is only 30.
So she has kidney failure disease. Is she able to fast? And if she can, what sort of foods are good to maybe not, again, cause more problems?
The best answer for the first part of the question, can fast or not, depends on her and her doctor. It's better because they know the lifestyle, her history. But what food is that she has, if she can avoid or eat as much less as she can the red meat, because the red meat and the liver changing from nitrogen, ammonia, and urea, which is very toxic to the kidney. So if she can avoid it, is much better. She can eat fish, she can eat eggs, she can eat chicken, she can eat salads, fruits. It's very good. Because banana is very rich in potassium, she can look for other sort because potassium is for renal failure is very good. But half a banana is good. But
so again, if anybody is concerned generally about whether they are fit enough to fast, first person to talk to is their doctor. If they are able to fast, like the lady there, then obviously some great tips.
Yeah, avoid, especially for kidney problem, for urinary problem, red meat, because red meat at the end is ammonia and urea is very toxic to the urea.
So great tips.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much indeed. That's fantastic. And thank you all very much indeed for your calls as well. It's been absolutely fantastic and some really great advice there on weight loss. And we really hope that the information that you've heard this evening has helped you consider your options during Ramadan and, of course, beyond as well. Now, again, as we keep saying, we must stress that the views and opinions on this show are strictly that of Dr. Adwan and are based on an alternative solution to illnesses. Now, should you suffer from any type of illness, it's always recommended that you go and see your GP or your medical consultant first. Thank you very much indeed for joining us today. Thank you to you, Dr. Adwan. It's been fantastic. Some great practical advice there for you. And if you would like to find out more about weight loss, then please do email us on healthshow@islamchannel.tv. Now, next time on The Health Show, we'll be discussing different diet systems. So don't forget to tune in then. But for now, goodbye, and we'll see you again soon. Assalamu alaikum.